Hello everyone, welcome back to the course on electromagnetic theory and interference. In this session, let us see how to design a single step for impedance matching purpose. So here an antenna with an impedance of 40 plus J30 ohm is given. So that is the load impedance ZL to be matched with a 100 ohm lossless line. So characteristic impedance Z0 is 100 ohm with a shorted stub. Okay, shorted stub they have asked. Determine the required stub admittance. So we are supposed to find the capital YS, that is stub admittance, distance between the stub and the antenna, stub and the load, that is D stub, stub length, that is L stub, standing wave ratio, that is SW1. So in all the Smith chart problems, the first step is to normalize the load. So first we normalize the load impedance, that is ZL divided by Z0 we have found. So that is 0.4 plus J 0.3. So we have to locate the R value, that is 0.4, R circle is 0.4, X circle is 0.3. The intersection of these two is normalized load admittance. And to find the standing wave ratio, what we should do, taking the center of the Smith chart as the center of the circle, radius as this particular point ZL, we have to draw a constant VSWR circle. And where this VSWR circle touches the real part of the reflection coefficient axis, that is the VSWR value. So we can see it is lying in between 2.6 and 2.8, that is 2.7 here, right? So the next step is to find the normalized load admittance. Since we are working for the shunt short circuited step which is connected in a parallel fashion, we have to convert impedance into admittance, then only we have to proceed our design. So the normalized load impedance is converted into normalized load admittance by covering distance of lambda by 4 distance. Why? Because we know that a quarter wave transformer can can act as an impedance transformer. So impedance is converted into admittance. For that, we have to just draw a straight line connecting this load impedance, passing the center of this VSWR circle to the other end. Okay, diametrically opposite point we have to mark. That is the normalized load admittance value. If you could see here, it is exactly we are getting 1.6. It is 1.4 there, 1.8, 1.6 minus J 1.2. This is the normalized load admittance. After finding this particular value, what we have to do, since in the impedance single step matching, I have mentioned that we have to cross this, we have to make the real part as 1. To do that, we are tracing the R equal to 1 circle. This is the circle R written as 1, right, which is passing the center of the Smith chart. So this I can write as G equal to 1 circle also. Both are same only because resistance is the reverse of the conductance, right? So after that, what we have to do, after locating that circle, we have to find the intersection of these two circles. So circles intersected at the top, I am marking it as A. At the bottom, I am marking it B. Okay. So in our design, if you could see here, the distance of the stub, how we can find from the normalized load to the point B. So we can see here normalized load admittance is available here. So we have to extend this line so that it touches the wavelength scale, wavelength towards generator the scale outside, and we have to extend the point from the center and the intersection of these two circles, that is marked as B. So extend it outwards. So this is the D stub. Location of the stub is this only. So the difference between these two wavelength will give me the D stub value. Now let us see how to find the required stub admittance. The susceptance at the point B, if you could see, the susceptance means reactance circle we have to see. It is minus J 1.04. So this is called inductive susceptance because in impedance chart we take the negative reactance as capacitance. But here it is called inductive susceptance because it's a admittance chart, because it is easy to work with admittance if you go for a parallel connection instead of impedance. Right, for impedance matching, we should introduce a stub Okay, so that the stub will provide a positive susceptance. That is capacitive susceptance. It has to provide same point. We have to trace it. Same reactant circle. We have to trace at point A so that it introduces positive susceptance, and this is the required stub admittance normalized value. We will come back to the original value later. Now, in next step, what we are going to do, we are supposed to find the length of the stub. So the design of single stub matching is finding the distance of the stub and length of the stub. This is done, right? Now we will see how to find the length of the stub. So as you can see in the diagram, it is distance between short circuit position and the point A. So this is the admittance chart I told, right? So in this case, in open circuit and short circuit position get interchanged because of this admittance chart. So from the short circuit position, okay, we have to move along the transmission line clockwise, and we have to reach this point where positive susceptance is present plus J 1.04. That B point we have to reach. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to draw a straight line. Actually, this straight line is not visible. If you could see here, we have drawn a straight line connecting this particular point from the center of the Smith chart to the point where we have traced this positive susceptance, right? So this straight line at this distance is called the length of the stub. So we can see here quarter wave is covered. Open and short circuit is located at 0.25 lambda, and apart from that we have to add this much distance. So if you could see, it is 0.128. Okay, 128 lambda. So we get the length of the stub is 0.378 lambda. So finally, for the given load impedance and characteristic impedance, we have designed the stub which is at the particular distance d stub away from the load and of particular length. Okay, this is fine. VSWR also we computed at the starting stage. Stub admittance, as I told you earlier, usually we will select the stub admittance. Okay, either it is plus or minus j, because we are choosing closer to the load admittance, hence only this distance. It can be away from the load larger distance also, but preferred design is closer. So it is plus or minus j 1.04 that we got here, and we have to multiply with the characteristic admittance. So characteristic admittance is 1 by characteristic impedance, that is 100. So we get plus or minus j 10.4 millisiemens or millimho, whichever admittance unit we are preferring, we can go for. There are three different units: mho, ohm inverse, Siemens, everything are same. Hope you understood how to design a single stub matching device. Let's see one more problem in the next upcoming session. Happy learning. Thank you, everyone.